Hey, what's going on, trade geniuses? This is Philip, and I wanted to recap today's action, February 9th. So, today was kind of the Trump tax bonanza day. I think that was a big part of the rally. If you look at the ES, right from the get go, here was our um, market open. So, anyway, it came up here, and we just went higher and higher all day. There was a lot of, on the internals, there was a lot of buying on the internals here, and very strong move up. And as you can see on the after hours, we're continuing to drift higher. I think we'll probably see a pullback to the 2300 would be my guess, that area, and then a move higher. Um, but just a very strong day, and this went past R3. One deviation move these days on ES is a lot in either direction. We finally petered out there toward the top, but just everything is very seems like it's very Trump sensitive information wise, and the algos are just eating it up. So that's kind of the environment we're in. You adapt, and so we just are aware of that. But really didn't have an end of day play today because it was just a trend day up, and we were near the highs of the day. So you like to have a little bit of room for those to run, and so stayed off of that, and that's a good reason to stay off because we did have a nice little pullback there at the end. Okay, so that was the ES, and then the other trade we had today was the USD JPY. Now this, I really like this setup. Here was our entry. We got into this around 11 a.m. ish, I would guess. And so we filled, ran past a little bit, and then it started to roll over, and that was basically how I was envisioning this to go, and we'd kind of end out somewhere around here. But man, the dollar just, and the dollar moved also on that the tax bonanza news from Trump, giving a break to the middle class, lower middle class segment of America. But this stuff here, dollar move was relentless. Yen was, and we'll look at that in a little bit here. Yen just pushed down and stayed down. We usually see some nice bounces when we get pushed to the extreme, and it just wasn't the case today. So 1.5 deviation move on the USD JPY is that's above average, really above average. You might see poke above 1 deviation and then back down, but to get that kind of a thrust, that's a big move, and it just eked out another. We stopped out here for fairly small loss, but this moved higher, and it was a good out. But it was just relentless, both in the dollar not so much, but the yen was just getting sold, just getting pounded, and that just wasn't stopping. So those days do happen, but that's why we have our stops and money management. So anyway, that's kind of the breakdown of the today's USD JPY trade. All right, so now let's go take a look at our other charts, and we'll take a look at the VIX, and we'll also take a look at kind of the bigger picture on the forex pairs. Okay, so here's our VIX, and we've got obviously today was up, so volatility was down. We're starting to, if we break through this level here, we may try a new lower low than we have on this time frame here. I think dipping into the nines has occurred 3 or 4 times maybe with the VIX, and on each occurrence we had a pretty dramatic rollover on the market. So got to be on your toes here. This is trending down. We've kind of got an uptrend on the Euro USD volatility. That's not what you want to see for in the money binary setups, high probability setups. So that's gonna create a challenging environment to find premium on some safe plays. So these are kind of trending down, although we do have an uptick here on the yen, and that is because today was a lot of yen selling, so that may continue to bounce back up. But um, anyway, so kind of the same picture we've been seeing all week with this. So just keep in mind we're probably just sticking with the at the money plays for the time being. All right, let's go take a look at some forex charts. Okay, so here's the dollar index. Here was the morning. The tax news hit the wires, shot up, kind of like with the market, and it's just kind of trending up. but not really getting into any extremes, just kind of hugging the mid channel line there. Yen got pounded. I mean, it was just the exact opposite, totally pounded. And so we got one, two, maybe we get a third, or maybe it's basing off of this double bottom here. That remains to be seen. I do think it's overdue for a pullback for sure, but we'll see if this double bottom holds. But yeah, this move is stretched for sure. Let's take a look at euro dollar. This is going to be under pressure. They're going to cut back on their bond purchasing program. That and some other things that are in play. Brexit too. It's gonna weigh on the euro USD. So basically, what I see happening is we're gonna test this 0650 area. I think that's gonna break. This inverted head and shoulders setup is just gonna fall apart. Would be my guess. This 0640, and then I think ultimately we're gonna test these support levels down and retest these lows down here at the 0380 area, and I think ultimately break through. I'm pretty bearish on the year USD right now. Pound dollar, we talked about that reversing earlier in the week. This move here, very very strong move up. Excuse me, and kind of trending a little higher. Did a little pullback here, but I think if I think ultimately I think we probably test this area here, which is kind of in this 2700. Got some prior high over here, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. Just because this area has been they definitely bounce off of this area, and again another strong move, and so I think the defense of that level is there, so we'll keep an eye on that, but I think that goes higher. UJ, we're in this, as you can see, still extended past the channel, and that will adjust, but very strong even now. We're in the Asia session. It is starting to cool its jets a little bit here, but it could just be consolidating too, but still very strong. Let's see the Swissy, and that's just really consolidating here, so that'll break. I'm gonna probably venture to guess this is gonna go higher, but we'll see. What else do we have? Aussie dollar. Nice moves within the channel, so we'll see if we get an bought or oversold condition that we can play into tomorrow. So anyway, that's about it. I think dollars jumped up. We'll see what happens. Running into some resistance here. Yen getting pounded. We'll see if I think that's due for a relief here and come back up. It will run into this resistance here, so we'll see how that reacts. But I do think it'll bump up there, and then we also have some resistance and support line in this area here. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll be keeping an eye on the overnight activity, and I will tweet out anything if I see an opportunity to fade any extreme moves. We'll definitely send that out. Other than that, thanks for watching. I hope that helped, and we'll see you guys in the room tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out our website, tradegenius.co, if you're interested in getting signed up. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.